Hello and welcome to Man vs Film. It is September already and it's time for another 10 fantastic movies that you can watch right now on Amazon Prime UK. So without further ado, let's get started. Number 10, Under Siege. Casey Rysbeck is a former Navy SEAL captain who's now the cook aboard the USS Missouri. Everyone aboard is about to celebrate the birthday of Captain Adams, but what Adams doesn't know is that he is in for a deadly surprise. Terrorists storm the boat and Adams is killed, and the ship is captured for its nuclear missiles. Spreading his men, including Commander Krill, throughout the ship, the terrorists underestimate Casey. Casey is an expert in martial arts, weapons, tactics and explosives. Probably Steven Seagal's best movie. Now, I know what you're thinking, that's not really saying much, but I have a real soft spot for Under Siege. Tommy Lee Jones plays the terrorist here. We've got Erika Eleniak in it, and we have Steven Seagal, who is a pretty good action star, particularly in this movie. This is one of these films that falls under the Die Hard on a logline of movies. This one is Die Hard on a boat, and it pretty much lives up to that kind of title. Number 9, 13 Ghosts. Arthur and his two children, Kathy and Bobby, inherit his Uncle Cyrus's estate, a glass house that serves as a prison for 12 ghosts. When the family, accompanied by Bobby's nanny and attorney, enter the house, they find themselves trapped inside an evil machine designed by the devil and powered by the dead. 13 Ghosts was part of those horror reboots, the kind of flashy studio budgeted ones that came out in the late 90s, early 2000s. Now, it's definitely not a good movie. It's somewhat enjoyable, it has some ridiculous moments as you would expect, but it's quite fun to spend time, especially with friends, in front of this movie, laughing at certain parts of it, being thrilled by other parts, and shaking your head in sheer disbelief at quite a lot of it. I kind of like 13 Ghosts. It's a movie I feel I should hate, but every time I watch it, I'm somewhat amazed that I am actually entertained by it. Number 8, Cube. 6 different people, each from a very different walk of life, awaken to find themselves inside a giant cube with thousands of possible rooms. Each has a skill that becomes clear when they must band together and get out. A cop, a math whiz, a building design, a doctor, an escape master and a disabled man. Each plays a part in the thrilling quest to find answers as to why they've been imprisoned. I love the ingenuity on show here from Vincent Natali's movie. The fact that it was built for such a small budget, the fact that it only had kind of 3 cube sets, but it constantly repurposed them. The characters within the cube were some of the most fascinating aspects of it. They were 3-dimensional. You kind of liked some, you hated others, but you understood that they were all necessary. The mystery at the heart of it really keeps it going as you want to figure out, why are they here? How are they going to get out of this? Just what the heck is going on? It's a terrific low-budget science fiction movie, and I think it is terrific. Number 7, The Wrestler. An ageing professional wrestler decades past his prime, who now barely gets by working small wrestling shows and is a part-time grocery store employee. As he faces health problems that may end his wrestling career for good, he comes to terms with life outside the ring by working full-time at the grocery store, trying to reconcile with his daughter he abandoned in childhood. He struggles with his new life, and an offer of a high-profile rematch with his 80s arch nemesis may be his ticket back to stardom. Darren Aronofsky's The Wrestler is a terrific drama, a character study of this one person who had his time and moment, and now it's gone by. And he didn't move on. He didn't change or evolve as a person, and now at this crux moment of his life, he is forced to rapidly change, and it has an effect on him. He's struggling to cope with it, struggling to deal with the fact that his current life may be over. It's a fantastic study, great performances throughout the movie, and particularly Mickey Rourke, and it's just a wonderful, wonderful movie. Number 6, Ocean's 11. Danny Ocean wants to score the biggest heist in history. He combines an 11-member team, including Frank Catton, Rusty Ryan and Linus Caldwell, and their target, the Bellagio, the Mirage and the MGM Grand, all casinos owned by Terry Benedict. It's not going to be easy as they plan to get out secretly with 150 million. Steven Soderbergh's Ocean's 11 was fantastic. It's a movie that I constantly revisit, and of course everybody's probably seen it but you really forget how stunningly well made it is. It has great performances from all the actors. It has this zipping soundtrack that just pushes the movie along. It has a great twist, and I personally love a heist movie. I'm imagining most people do, and I love the heist at the heart of this. This is just a favourite of mine, and one that I just thought, you know, it's been a while since it's been on the list. It's time to get back in and revisit this one. Number 5, Premium Rush. Wiley is one of 1,500 bike couriers in Manhattan who rides on the edge by having a bike with no brakes. On this day, Wiley has a delivery that is so valuable that a corrupt New York City detective who needs the money begins to chase Wiley through the city to get it before the envelope is delivered. Joseph Gordon-Levitt is Wiley, and the corrupt New York police detective is Michael Shannon. I love these guys. They're two of my favourite actors, and although this is a kind of generic thriller action kind of movie, it still packs a bit of a punch because of the talent involved with it. There's some great bike sequences, there is some good fun moments. It ultimately hits the beats you think it's going to hit, but it's still a kind of entertaining, if forgettable movie. Number 4, Theatre of Blood. A serial killer stalks London, targeting theatre critics who he kills in methods inspired by Shakespeare plays. The police grow to suspect the killer is Edward Lionheart, an egotistical actor who leaped to his presumed death after being denied an important award, mainly due to his refusing to appear in any play not written by Shakespeare. The remaining critics and the police find themselves helpless to stop Lionheart's increasingly baroque revenge. Theatre of Blood is one of my favourite movies. It's so weird and wacky. It has an outstanding performance by Vincent Price, who, let's face it, is always outstanding in anything he is in. But here, as Lionheart, he gives a tremendous performance. And the revenge, the things that he puts onto the people that he feels wronged him, are stunning set pieces that I absolutely adore. If you haven't seen Theatre of Blood, I think you're in for a real treat. From great performances to the lavish production values to the terrific revenge scenarios that are created from Shakespeare plays. I think this is a wonderful movie, timeless, and an absolute must if you've never seen it. Number 3, The Gate. Glenn and his best friend Terry accidentally open a gate to hell when a rotten tree is removed from their back of Glenn's house. When his dog dies and a friend of Glenn's sister, the teenager Alexandra, buries the animal in the hole, demons from an ancient civilization are released, seeking for 2 human sacrifices to dominate the world. Glenn, Al and Terry, who are spending the weekend alone in the house, fight to save their lives and close the hole. There is a huge part of nostalgia in this movie for me. It was one that scared the crap out of me in the 80s, and I love it because of that. Now, the test of time probably hasn't been kind to The Gate, but I still think, through nostalgic eyes, that it's one that I really enjoy. I love the miniature work, the fact that they did so much with so little. This was a very small Canadian budget that they had here, and they use it to fantastic effects throughout the movie. I think it's really well done, and of course, if you loved it back in the 80s, I really want to know what your opinion of it is now. If you've never seen this movie before, I'd love to know your opinion. Did you like it, or did you feel it had dated a little bit too much to get fully enjoyment out of it? Let me know in the comment box below. Number 2, Lair of the White Worm. Scottish archaeologist Angus Flint discovers an odd skull amid the ruins of a convent that he is excavating. Shortly thereafter, Lady Sylvia Marsh returns to Temple House, a nearby mansion, far earlier than expected. At a party in the village, Angus meets James Dampton, who has just inherited his family's land right next to Temple House. Angus learns of the Dampton worm, a huge dragon snake that an earlier Dampton killed by cutting in half. Angus and James discover that there was an ancient cult that worshipped the worm as a god, and they theorise that the creature somehow survived and is trapped beneath the very earth. Lair of the White Worm is bonkers, absolutely bonkers. I don't really feel as if there's a way that I can adequately describe this movie other than the word bonkers. I loved it. It's really weird performances. It has a unusual soundtrack that goes along with this. In fact, there is a song throughout it that actually tells you much of the beats of the backstory and plot of the actual movie. It has ridiculous, wacky scenes. It's just crazy, but so enjoyable. Really fantastic. I loved this movie. I'm just sad I had to wait until very recently when I discovered it. I think it's strange and unusual, something a little bit different. Sometimes you want a little bit different, and this has it in spades. Number 1, Black Book. Dutch VIP Van Geen, who has an excellent German connections, runs a countryside escape route, mainly used by the Jews who have been hiding themselves and their considerable valuables. A boat full of them is suddenly raided by Nazis. Rare survivor Rachel Stein joins fellow Jew Gerben Kuiper's spectacularly successful Amsterdam resistance, which includes champion sharpshooter Hans Ackersman. She volunteers to gain entrance into the Nazi HQ by seducing a high-ranking officer. Several dangerous games of cat and mouse ensue, exacting bloody tolls on both sides. Paul Verhoeven went back to Holland to direct Black Book, this stunning World War II movie that, I'm ashamed to say, took me almost 12 years to discover it from its release. I feel it is a fantastic movie that has terrific production values. It kind of skirts the usual tropes of these kind of movies and tells a story that is highly interesting, full of great action set pieces, full of even better tense sequences where anybody could be found out and murdered at any point, and some are. There is terrific scene after terrific scene, and this movie just moves in such a way that I was hooked, that I haven't stopped thinking about it since I seen it, that I want to urge other people to go and check it out. I don't know what held me back, but I hope you won't suffer the same problem and go and check this out as soon as you can. So there we have it. 10 terrific movies for you to check out on Amazon Prime UK for the month of September 2019. I hope you find something there that you want to watch, or an old classic that you may have missed or want to revisit. Either way, if there's something I've missed, let me know in the comment box, or just your thoughts on this list, and I'll see you next time on Man vs Film.